Good evening. The time is 9:17 p.m. The news headline. Brother of former Vice President shot dead as bandits demands rise. Spaghetti as ransom amid biting hunger. The closure of many markets across the northwest is taking a heavy toll on bandits. At least 4 governors closed markets in their states as part of measures to check banditry. Few days after the closure of markets in some rural areas in Shøt, bandits demanded food to release their captives. A resident of Sabo, Benin, who pleaded anonymity, told our reporter how the child of one of his neighbors regained freedom after giving out food items. They abducted a daughter of one man in our village, and when he could not raise the money, they asked him to bring 10 measures of rice to collect the girl, and they kept their promises. Another resident of Shøt told Daily Trust how bandits requested for food items and drinks to release an abducted driver. They initially demanded for 15 million naira before they later agreed to accept 600,000 naira. They asked his employer, who is my friend, to use the money to buy bags of rice, crates of energy drinks, Fearless, cartons of spaghetti, cigarettes, and bring the remaining change to them. The man is still trying to raise the money, he said. A security analyst, Aminu Bala Sokoto retired, said the situation has shown that the current military onslaught on bandits in Zamfara is yielding results. The operation is crippling them because it is not only targeting them, it is also targeting their storage facilities. They are now in a state of disarray looking for survival, and their situation is compounded with the shutdown of GSM network in Zamfara and Katsina because they cannot reach out to their relatives, to the relatives of their captives. I hope the shutdown will cover other states in the region, he said. A family member says that the Taliban have shot the brother of Amrullah Saleh, the former vice president of Afghanistan, and his driver in northern Panjshir province. The Taliban shot dead the brother of Amrullah Saleh, the former vice president of Afghanistan, and his driver in northern Panjshir province. Saleh's nephew said Saturday. Shøt Saleh said his uncle Rohullah Azizi was going somewhere in a car Thursday when Taliban fighters stopped him at a checkpoint. As we hear at the moment, Taliban shot him and his driver at the checkpoint, he said. His message left with a Taliban spokesman Saturday was not immediately returned. Shøt Saleh said it was unclear where his uncle, an anti-Taliban fighter, was headed when the Taliban caught him. He said phones were not working in the area. And the news analysis is that the bandits of recent, after the closure of many markets across the northwest, and the at least four governors, in the states, use this as part of their measures to check banditry, by saying that there should be no selling of petrol in cans, in jerry cans, and market closing, and some other restrictions by the northwest governors. And as a result of this, it is taking a heavy toll on the bandits, because just of recent there was a closure of markets in some rural areas in Shøt, you understand, across some states too, where bandits are demanded, the bandits demanded for food to release their captives. No longer ransom as usual again, because according to a resident of Sabo, Benin, actually he pleaded that he should remain anonymous, and his identity should not be released by the newsmen for safety purpose. He told the reporter that the child of one of his neighbors regained freedom after giving out food items. That's quite unusual than the usual way where they ask for cash a whole lot of ransom before they can release any of their captive. But in this case, it was especially different because the resident of that Sabo Bini said that one of his neighbor's child who was kidnapped while he wanted to regain freedom, from these bandits, they actually requested that there should be food being given to them before they can release their captive. And they abducted the daughter of one man in our village, the residents still speaking, saying that when he could not raise the money, they asked him to bring 10 measures of rice to collect the girl, and they kept their promises. So after requesting that the abductee, the relative of the abductee, should actually bring money, and they could not provide cash as requested by this bandit, then they said that the father of that abducted daughter should actually bring 10 measures of rice to collect the girl. And after doing that, they actually gave back the daughter to the man. And another resident again of Sokoto told Daily Trust that bandits requested for items and drinks to release and abducted the driver. And while he was explaining to Daily Trust, he said that they initially demanded for 15 million, which is their usual culture, where they will ask for a whole lot of huge amounts that at the end of the day it might be negotiated to about. There was a case of recent where they asked for 15 million from a Yoruba man like that too, and they negotiated to about 2.5 million naira, and that was paid before they could release the man. But like that, these ones, they charged 15 million naira, and they later agreed to accept 600,000 naira. Now, after that, they asked the employer to use the money to buy bags of rice, crate of energy drinks, which is a category particularly fearless, cartons of spaghetti, cigarettes, and bring them the remaining change, out of that 600,000 naira. And the man is still trying to raise the money. And a security analyst, Aminu Balasokoto, retired, said that the situation has shown that the current military onslaught on bandits is actually working, because the military are not just targeting the bandits alone, they are also targeting their food storage and any other storage facilities that they are having. And it is quite obvious that they are now in a state of disarray, looking for survival. And their situation is compounded with the shutdown of the GSM network in Zamfara and Katsina, because they cannot even reach out to the relatives of the captives because of the poor network. And it is hoped that this network shutdown